Hotspur at home to Aston Villa. John Motson commentating.
Gordon Jury is back for Spurs after missing 8 games with a hamstring injury, and with top scorer Gary Lineker also returning, the FA Cup holders go into this replay with an attacking outlook. Paul Walsh keeps his place, and the plan is for him to operate wide on the left of the 2 main strikers. The men who drop out are midfield players Naeem and David Howells. For Aston Villa, Steve Staunton is back after a groin strain, but he'll play in midfield with number 8 Brian Small keeping his place at left back. 2 new names on the subs bench. Matthias Breitkreutz is a former East German midfield player, and 19-year-old Martin Carruthers is a striker. Are we going to see some goals tonight? If we don't, in 90 minutes, it'll be extra time. And if it's still a draw, it could be penalties. Here's Paul Allen for Tottenham. Tackle was by Small, who's wearing number 8, but playing at left back. Richardson. Parker. Good tackle by Steve Sedgley. Regis, wide to Daly. Samways. Richardson. Staunton, nice ball, Parker in space. Oh, a lot of space for Gary Parker. And he puts the ball over the bar when he could so easily have scored his first goal for Aston Villa. The former Forest player, there may have been a flag up there anyway, but Gary Parker got the better of Gary Mabbutt, and he tried to just chip the ball over Eric Torsvet as he came out, and it was just too high for Aston Villa. Here's Sedgley. This is York, and there goes Regis. Space here again. Mabbutt blocked it this time, but Tottenham's defence has twice sprung a leak down the centre. And Aston Villa threatening to make the better start here until Paul Stewart got the ball for Spurs. Allen. This is Samways. Walsh moving inside. Fennick. Samways. Allen. Walsh. Little touch back to Allen. Good effort. Paul Allen with the strike. And a very enterprising start to this replay by both teams. Signs of good attacking play, first by Villa and then by Spurs. That was Sedgley. And this is Walsh. Vanden Hauwe. Spurs attacking on 3 cup fronts at the moment. Semi-finalists in the Rumbelows, quarter-finalists in the European Cup Winners' Cup. And battling with Villa here for a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup, but it's Daly for Villa, looking threatening. Good block, Vanden Hauwe, but this is Parker. Daly again. York out right. Mabbutt this time in the way. In goes Daly once more, and Sedgley with Parker. Good control by Parker. Here's Daly. Oh, and Paul Stewart sliced it. It's a corner. Teal and McGrath both shaping up to come in here. And McGrath, oh, it's on the line, and York making absolutely sure, and Aston Villa are in front. The near post flick on, puzzled Eric Torsvet, and Dwight York was on the line to make sure the ball went over. Aston Villa are in the lead. Andy Gray and Ron Atkinson couldn't have planned that better. Kevin Richardson curls the corner in. It may have glanced off Fenwick. McGrath, half a touch. Well, there's no doubt who will claim it. It was probably, in the end, Paul Allen may have got the last touch, but the man going in there for Aston Villa was Dwight York, and they're in front. 11 minutes. That's Regis. Here he is again. Kubicki. Here's York. This is Richardson. And now it's Daly. Still Daly. Quite good approach play here by the Villa number 7. Here's York. So an uneasy start here by Spurs, the cup holders. And a bold one by Aston Villa, who went for the throat straight from the kickoff, really. Might have scored through Parker before they did take the lead. Up goes Walsh. This is Allen. Richardson. Regis on the chest, Parker backing up. They've got players on both flanks here, Aston Villa. It's Daly wide on the left. Good play by him. Here comes York again, and this time it comes off Gary Mabbott. Stewart. Walsh. Oh, well played. Lineker's come short for him, touches it back to Walsh. Now it's wide to Allen. Lineker in the centre, being joined by Stewart. Still Allen. And Walsh! Well, he notched a nice header last week against Norwich. And this time coming towards the near post for a cross by Paul Allen. He got goal side of the defender all right. But this time, for Paul Walsh, it was just the wrong side of the post. Sedgley to Lineker. This is Vinny Samways. And Walsh claims for handball, but a corner's been given. Walsh screaming at the referee. He felt denied of a possible penalty at Villa Park by Jimmy Borrett. But I think the referee might have felt there it was difficult for the defender to get out of the way. I don't know, it was a Walsh cross. Well, his arms were out, and it certainly struck one of them, but it's a corner. Mabbott comes in strongly. Here's Walsh. Couldn't turn it through. Vanden Hauwe winning it back from Parker. Mabbott. But Staunton, and here's Aston Villa. Look at this. 2 against 1 on the break. It's Parker with York going into the middle. Others arriving now. And Spurs just got back in time. But they were undermanned when that attack was mounted. This is Samways. And it's York against Vanden Hauwe. Twice, in fact. Or maybe 3 times. or even 4. Spurs man wins out in the end at the expense of a throw. York. Staunton. Steve Staunton. Oh, Paul Stewart. Villa's fans behind that goal, claiming a penalty kick. Again, the referee shakes his head. That's one turn down at either end now. And here's Paul Allen to Lineker. Good-looking ball for Gordon Dury at the far post. Well, there was some excitement there in 60 seconds. Aston Villa are still remonstrating with referee Boris about the incident at the other end, where Steve Staunton was playing a little game of his own, really, down there in the penalty area, and, well, you could say that he didn't play the ball, he played the man. Stewart. And the half went very quickly. The game played at quite a pace. Not many interruptions, but Aston Villa have come to White Hart Lane, and to the satisfaction of their supporters, had the better of the first half. A corner scrambled in, eventually off Paul Allen, although Dwight York was the Villa player who will be claiming the credit. And it certainly was a very awkward corner to deal with, but it's unsatisfactory from a defender's point of view. It went right across, and it certainly went in off Paul Allen. Well, Spurs may be the FA Cup holders, but Aston Villa also have a great deal of Wembley pedigree. 6 players in the team tonight have been in the FA Cup final for different clubs, plus the manager Ron Atkinson, who's won it twice with Manchester United, and the number 2 Andy Gray, who played, of course, in the Everton side that beat Watford. This is Fenwick. Lineker. And Tony Daly gets away from Samways. 4 of them up with him here. This is Gary Parker. Daly again, Regis to his left, and again Parker. Now Richardson, and it's Parker who's through. This is 2-0, is it? It's an incredible save on the line by Mabbutt, I think. And it's still Parker. Well, that would have been possibly curtains for the cup holders. But Gary Mabbutt, the Spurs captain, makes an exceptional goal line clearance from Gary Parker. There's the ball through from Richardson. He's onside, he's round the goalkeeper, and look what happens. That's Mabbutt stretching out the right foot. Corner to Villa. It's Sedgley who's trying to contain McGrath. Here he is again, Sedgley. And that long ball out, aimed towards Lineker, and the flag's up. Well, Dwight York's goal still separating the two teams as Dury picks it up for Spurs. And York again, my goodness, the way these two wide men have played, Spurs have been stretched. Here's York again, goodness. They're running at Spurs all the time. 2 to his left again. Still York. Very greedy really there, because Regis in the middle was entitled to expect a square ball. Inexperience, basically. But they certainly are showing, York and Daly in particular, their ability to go at defenders. And they're loving every minute of it, the two wide players. Just got a bit carried away at the end. Lineker, and he'll get a free kick there, a challenge by Sean Teal. 5 minutes gone in the second half, still Spurs 0, Aston Villa 1. Fenwick takes the free kick. There's Stewart! Oh, good header, Teal. Seeley was on his way to his left to try and save it, and Sean Teal got there first. Corner to Spurs. Some ways to take it. In comes Mabbutt. Allen. Samways. Goal kick. Oh, well controlled by Dwight York. Oh, and he sold Sedgley there, and Torsbeck didn't hold it, and Fenwick got there ahead of Regis just. Spurs rocking again as Aston Villa thrust forward with Dwight York prominent. He really took them on again here. Exciting forward play. He sold Sedgley, and Torsbeck couldn't hang on to the shot. Fenwick was Tottenham's saviour. McGrath! Oh, it was nearly a copybook, a repeat of the goal. The same players involved. Here's Parker. Goodness, Aston Villa are all over Tottenham. Offside. Offside, Dwight York. The cup holders on their own territory are in danger here of being overrun. Almost deja vu here. Paul McGrath's header on. York and Allen again the players involved. This time Spurs survive. That wasn't a very good ball by the Tottenham captain. This is Richardson, the Villa captain, to Staunton and Regis. He thought about giving it back to Staunton, but he's got two other alternatives. One of them is York here. And Staunton comes in for the header. Didn't shape up very well for it either, because there was an opening there for Aston Villa to make it 2-0. Again, Spurs, who are now going to bring Naeem on, seemed outnumbered in that attack. Gordon Jury is going off. Perhaps he wasn't as fit as they hoped he might be. Naeem is in his place, and that will mean an orthodox front two now of Lineker and Walsh, with Naeem going onto the left-hand side of midfield, number 14. Regis to York. Oh, he's turned Bandon Howe. And Daly comes in, just over the bar from Tony Daly. Well, you would honestly think that Aston Villa were the home team, and you wouldn't think that Spurs were the cup holders. Not on what we've seen so far. Walsh. This is Samways. Lineker. Well played by Paul McGrath there. This is Dwight York. Shakes off the challenge of Samways. And it's 3 against 3 here. It's York for Aston Villa. Still York. He's got support here from Gary Parker. Oh, good save. Torsbeck covered the near post, and Parker knows how close that might have been. Good save by the Tottenham goalkeeper. Dwight York looked to his left there, and Regis perhaps not so well placed this time. He went on his own, found Gary Parker backing up. That was a good strike and a good stop. It's a corner to Aston Villa to be taken by Staunton. McGrath is up for this. And Sedgley gets it away. Staunton again to Parker. Mabbott heads out. This is Richardson. And now it's McGrath to Staunton. Lineker for Spurs. The provider now, as he searches out Paul Allen. Well, the linesman's flagging one way, the referee's pointing the other. And there are 5 minutes to go, and you have to say at this point in the evening that the FA Cup holders are less than 5 minutes from going out of the competition. Regis with Mabbott. Van den Houw. Samways, Stewart. Samways cross. Walsh! Oh, Lineker! Well, that was possibly the only opening he's had. And Villa, for the first time here, were confused by a cross. Paul Walsh heads it backwards. Lineker got his chest to it, and he did ever so well to get the shot in when you see it from there. But no time to keep it down. He had to get it, strike it quickly before Kubicki challenged. Regis. Parker. So, stoppage time at the 90th minute of this FA Cup third round replay. Aston Villa lead by 1-0 against the cup holders. This is Daly. And again. Regis is to his left. It's still Tony Daly. Well, you could see he was going to try and take them all on there. Staunton, Small, and Bergson. Allen! Good challenge. No, he played the ball. Sean Teal, good effort. This is Samways, Bergson. Spurs need a good cross now. My word, they do. They've got one. It's Walsh. And it's a corner. We're in the 92nd minute. Paul Stewart jumps. Paul McGrath clears, or half clears. Samways. Walsh. And a good challenge by Dwight York. Well, can Spurs save themselves yet? That's Naeem's cross, and straight at Seeley. Well, we go into the third minute of stoppage time here, but not much longer. Aston Villa have put the FA Cup holders out on their own territory, and deservedly so. Villa's fans celebrate a fine victory. Dwight York will get the credit for the goal that does it, and how well he and Daly played in running at the Spurs defence. In fact, Villa could have won it by more. Spurs had no ingenuity tonight. They were well below par, and Aston Villa earned their right to go into the fourth round and play either Derby County or Burnley. And Spurs, the FA Cup holders, are knocked out on their own ground. There will be a new name on the trophy this year, as from last, and Villa are thrilled to bits.
We're not bad. We'll be around for money. We've got to, you know, I don't know who we're going to play in the next round. I suppose if it's Burnley, I mean, the people will look at it and say, well, the last time Villa played Burnley, they went on to win the Cup in '57. Certainly I played against, you know, I was manager when we played Derby, put at the baseball ground, put them out, and we went on to win it. So there's good omens, a lot of work to be done, a lot of playing to be done. But tonight's smashing for the club.
We gave a super performance up at Villa Park. We defended particularly well up there, and we felt, you know, getting back to our own field and we'll be okay. This was our 9th game in 28 days, and I have to say it looked like that. We was a yard short of pace. Their forward players, particularly the lad Daly, was outstanding on the night, and McGrath was a hero for one on tonight's showing. So we couldn't find our way. I can't complain about the result. The boys have given me everything, but on the night it wasn't going to be.
Villa were well worthy of their win, Bob, it looked.
It was a really comprehensive victory. I think it was expressed very well there by Peter Shreve, really, that Villa took the game to Spurs from the beginning, and Spurs almost lost their opportunity in that first game at Villa Park. They've been much better away from home than at home anyway this season. I think only Southampton have lost more games at home than Spurs. They've lost 6 at home. And so I think Villa were aware of that. And so they set about them, and they set about them with those 2 lads who've got such fast feet. Tony Daly we know all about, but in a way it was Dwight York who impressed upon everybody tonight just what a find he was when they picked him up off a tour in Trinidad and Tobago. But he's got such fast feet, he's got such balance, he's got a brain, and when it's all done at pace, it scares defenders. It's a very experienced defender there, Pat Van den Houw. And they turned the 2 players here inside out. Gets round them, lovely little ball to the far post, and in fact it is Tony Daly who does very well with the header for a small guy. So those 2, I think, were the 2 who really set up the victory.
York, like Daly's not just got skill, he's got the pace too, hasn't he?
Well, it is that pace, Des. In the modern game, you know, you can defend and you can defend and you can have the best organisation, but if you can have somebody who has that ingenuity and has that real pace, it'll scare anybody.
Now, what did you make of the goal?
Well, I wouldn't give it to Dwight York, actually, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's counting it as his 11th of the season. Nice corner in from Kevin Richardson. It's undefendable, that flick on. Eric Torsfed, not the best of positions, but then there's a little touch from Dwight York, and it's on its way out of goal there, but then it comes off the heel of Paul Allen. I'm not quite sure how it can be claimed that for Dwight York. Now this is, it should have been, as I said, far more comprehensive. Park around there, and only Gary Mabbott's brilliant defending there, never say die spirit. But really, we've just shown there 2 or 3 examples of just how good Villa were tonight.
Yes. Parker might have got 3 goals in extra.
Yeah, he had a wonderful bit of skill himself. Again, like we're saying, wonderful individual skill, and that was the wonderful thing about Villa tonight. They look as if they are a side with real ability and skill, and that ability to scare defences.
Thanks, Bob. Well, the big